So for the middle school policies, we're going to go over these pretty in depth because this does have to do with your middle school students. Your scheduling, you're already in the classes that you're placed in, but if you'd like to know why, well, for advanced and compacted math, you had to have an average of 93 or greater in sixth grade math for seventh grade and a MAP RIT score or RIT score of 238 or greater. Let's get down to eighth grade. For honors English and Spanish 1, of course, at Oak Grove Middle School, that they have Spanish 1. Students must have a score of 235 or greater and a final average of 93 or greater in seventh grade English. For Algebra 1, students must have a final average of 93 or greater in seventh grade advanced math and a score of 242 or greater. To drop a course, they're really not going to drop a course for you unless you have some kind of medical condition, and it must be approved by the principal through the counselor and approved by the principal. For any kind of schedule changes, whenever you do your choice sheet in the spring, your teachers and the counselor tell you how important that is to make sure you know what you're putting on there, because we really don't like to make schedule changes. And we only do those in case of we made a mistake, or if you're in the wrong level of the class, if you're in the same class twice, or if you're in a class which you already received credit. And anytime the administration needs to change the schedule around, they can do that to balance out classes. You cannot request a teacher. Hopefully you like the teacher that you have, because that's who you're stuck with for 9 months. Semester exams are at the end of the second 9 weeks for a year-long course. Final exams will be administered for semester and year-long courses at the end of the course. Students must take each semester test at its regularly scheduled time. If you have a vacation or anything like that planned, your parents will have to work with the principal to make up that test. Just waking you up. Semester tests are optional for students with disabilities, and exemptions for the end of the year final examinations. You cannot have missed more than 4 days of school, and you must have a 90 in all 3 first terms and a 90 at the point where they do exemptions in the fourth term. Students will receive a high school credit for Algebra 1, Spanish 1, and ICT 2. Exemptions in citizenship, that's just saying that you cannot get in trouble and still be exempt from your test at the end. For 9 weeks grades and semester and yearly grades, your 9 weeks grades are built on 50% of your major assignments and 50% of the daily weekly assignments. Then those average together. So a teacher should not give you 1 major grade and 7 daily grades, because that would only average out to really mostly major grade. For your semester and yearly reporting, that's a 45-10%, with the 9 weeks being 45, the second 9 weeks being 45, and the semester test 10, same way in the second semester. Promotion in your grades is based upon you passing the major subjects of math and language arts. But if you fail 2 other subjects, you also fail the grade. So if you fail science and history, you also fail. All this promotion and retention, we're not even going to look at that, because all of you are going to pass. We know if you are in danger of failing, the counselors will pull you in and talk to you, and you can read over these items in the handbook. For state test, the MAP test is designed to measure student achievement, and this is given to all students in grades 6 through 8. You're also going to take a science test in 8th grade, and 8th grade students who are in Algebra 1 will take an Algebra 1 test. All of these middle school programs that are offered, you're already enrolled in those. For the cell phone policy, just remember, for the first offense that you are breaking the cell phone rule, that's a warning. The second offense, your parent must pick up the phone or mobile device, and you will receive ISS. For the third offense, it's OSS, which is out of school suspension, and a parent will pick up the device. Please tell your parents not to call or text you on your phone during the day, because if they get you in trouble, it's going to be silly to say, well, it was my mom. Well, your mom got you placed in ISS. Your parents could email you, though, and you could check that at school if you needed to. For the discipline ladder, all of these, the discipline ladder does not reflect, like, the first time you get in trouble, step 1 is what happens. The second time is step 2. That is not what the discipline ladder means. The discipline ladder in Lamar County has 8 steps. And when you look at the steps and the behaviors that place you on that step, however if you do something really, really bad, you may go straight to step 5. If you look at the behaviors really before you look at the steps, it will explain it better. So if you are inappropriate public display of affection, you're kissing your girlfriend, your boyfriend, go back to step 1 through 4, and they could do any of these things to you. As you see, none of that says anything about alternative school, anything like that. It's just IST or Saturday school. Parent may be requested to attend classes. So when you look at these different behaviors and what happens, refer back to the steps. And like for zero tolerance, if you call in a bomb threat at the school, that's zero tolerance. That's going to be, you're going to alternative school, you're in big trouble. For defacement or destruction of school property, that's a $20,000 maximum restitution required. So you're going to be in really big trouble. It would be a step 3 through 8, and you'd probably be in alternative school and made to pay money. If you look at the gray areas, these have been added to the handbook for unacceptable behaviors, and they're pretty serious. Like cheating, if you cheat on a test, step 3 through 8, if we go to step 3, that's an automatic assignment to IST for 1 to 3 days, Saturday school assignments, loss of privileges or performance of school service. So if you're on the football team, you won't be playing football, things like that. So look over that discipline. Also look over the fighting levels, weapons, over-the-counter prescriptions. There are different ways that there are different fights that you can get in. Some of you may be pushing and shoving in the hallway, but somebody that's your buddy on the weekends, that would be a level 1 fight. If you get into a fight and you bust somebody's nose, that would be a level 3 fight. That's a blood fist fight. If you get into a level 5 fight, that would be really bad with gang implications and people threatening others. So the consequences for each one of these go along with the level of fight. So for weapons, you know not to bring any weapons on campus. For over-the-counter medications and supplements, you have levels of each of those: alcohol and prescription drugs and illegal drugs. They have added this year prescription drugs not prescribed to you. If you bring a bottle of pills to school and it belongs to someone else, this falls in the same category. Court referrals, arrest, and detentions. If you have weapons, drugs, alcohol, drug paraphernalia, if you're cyber stalking someone, vandalism, gambling, trespassing, simple assault, disorderly conduct, abuse of someone, threatening and intimidation, public intoxication, sexual battery, rape, bomb threats, or defacing or destroying school property, you will be referred to Lamar County Youth Court. For the grade requirements for extracurricular activities, you must have a 2.0 or higher. This is a question on the handbook test. Alert, 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 2.0 or higher. If you do not have a 2.0 or higher, you will not be allowed to participate in your extracurricular activity. For MHSAA, Mississippi High School Activities Association guidelines, the coaches check that for you, but if you ever are questioned, you don't have eligibility, you can look back in the handbook, and that gives you all of this. For Who's Who, we will have Who's Who nominations and elections at Oak Grove Middle School and Purvis Middle School, and a student may only receive one student elected award. So for middle school favorites, campus favorite, most likely to succeed, friendliest, most school spirit, most dependable. Then we'll have middle school favorites in each grade, middle school teacher awards, most athletic, most talented, and citizenship. So all of those will be elected and given by some of will be given by teachers. I can tell I'm getting to the end. I'm getting excited. Y'all should be excited. We're almost done with handbook. So class officers and club officer elections, we'll have those also. We will not have a homecoming court at Purvis and Oak Grove. Well, no, not middle school. So Baxterville is a finishing school, which means they only have K through 8 there. Kids at Baxterville in 9th through 12th grade come to Purvis. So they have a homecoming court at Baxterville. We all don't. We don't have to read that. Vanguard policies and spirit group policies, your coaches will go over this with you. Mr. and Miss Middle School must be an 8th grader due to the nature of this award. You have to be here all 3 years. And if you think you're going to win this award, you need to read the handbook. Oh, I'm so excited. We're